My hand doesn't work. Oh.
Do you think that you could help me dry, please?
You know I can't.
Well, why can't you?
All I did was go out the other night. You told me not to drive drunk, so I fell asleep on my arm, and now look at my wrist.
You've been using that excuse for the past 3 days, though. And I'm just not happy anymore. You don't help me with the chores, and I just have to do everything by myself.
What's the real problem here?
Welcome tonight to OT 422. Tonight's story is affecting couples across the nation. Radial nerve palsy, commonly referred to as wrist drop. Luckily tonight we have with us the world-renowned occupational therapist, Ashley Palmer. She has worked with numerous couples with an incredibly high success rate. Let's hear it for Ashley Palmer. Welcome, Ashley. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me, Molly.
So let's hear some things about radial nerve palsy.
Well, first of all, it has a couple different names. It is known as wrist drop because your wrist is dropping. Saturday night palsy.
What's that?
I was shown in the clip before when someone becomes intoxicated and ends up falling asleep on their radial nerve and putting pressure to it, which causes damage to the nerve. It is also called honeymooner's palsy.
Tell me more about that.
That could happen when a couple is cuddling and the woman's head is usually putting pressure on the radial nerve, which is somewhere in the armpit region.
Okay, that makes sense. So what are some other things to know? Oh, look at this picture.
This just gives you a good example of the radial nerve. As you can see, it comes down through the armpit region into the wrist and even into the hand.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Some of the symptoms that you may get while you have the wrist drop is that you are unable to extend your wrist, so it drops, and you have sharp burning or aching pains, and you have progressive weakness, lack of dexterity, or swelling in the wrist or in the dorsum of the hand.
Okay, yeah, I could see how couples fight about this a lot.
This just gives you a good example of what you may see when your wrist is dropping.
Okay. So how do you help couples with this, since you're such a high success rate?
Sometimes it just goes away by itself, but if that doesn't happen, we can give you ideas on over-the-counter medicine to reduce the pain and the swelling, or we can splint or brace your wrist to help you out with that. And in the worst case scenarios, there is surgery.
Oh man. So what types of surgeries?
It's a tendon transfer, but this is the most severe cases.
Okay, so have you ever had to have people have surgery for this?
I've only had a few, but it is quite intense.
Good. So Ashley, how have you as an OT helped your patients and clients with radial nerve palsy?
I have tried helping them with their ADLs.
Okay, what's an ADL?
It's an activity of daily living, such as doing the dishes or getting ready in the morning.
Okay, gotcha.
So as you kind of saw in the clip that we presented earlier.
That makes sense.
I also help out with splinting and helping with range of motion.
Okay.
And I also assist with emotional needs because it's got to be hard for someone going through this. And if I can find any assistive devices that will help them out with these ADLs. And I also help with increasing muscle tone so you don't lose that while you're in the brace.
Perfect. Yeah, I can totally see how you have such a high success rate. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for coming in tonight. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's story. Come back tomorrow because we are too legit to quit.